am ready. The first school to go today will be Aldenham School. And representing Aldenham School, I see Mr. Paul Dunstan and Miss Liz Beach. Miss Liz Beach is the Foundation Marketing and Admissions Manager for Aldenham School. You're welcome. Parents, feel free to clap, feel free to use your emojis, and remember to drop your questions. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Liz. I'm obviously working at Aldenham. Mr. Dunstan, my colleague, is going to take you through our presentation. Obviously, any questions, please do ask. Hope you enjoy. And thank you to Brains and Butter for hosting the event.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you to Brains and Butter. Good morning, everybody. It's 11 o'clock here in the UK. It is actually sunny at the moment. I'm just looking out of the window. We've had all sorts of interesting weather over the last few days, particularly stormy and cold, but we're okay at the moment. So I'm going to share my screen with you and take you through a quick presentation, and then hopefully we can answer any questions that you have as we go through. So if you tell me when you can see my screen, and then I will work from there.
We can see your screen.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to put the presentation on properly. Perfect. Well, welcome. We are from Aldenham School, and we are one of the premier boarding schools in the UK. We're part of the HMC, the Headmasters and Headmistresses Conference, which is of the top 360 or so schools in the world. And we're part of the HMC. And telling you today a little bit more about us. We were established in 1597, so we've been going for a very long time, and we're here on the same site that we started with way back then. Our location is in Hertfordshire, which is beautiful, leafy, green Hertfordshire countryside. We have 115 acres of space for the children to live, to breathe, and to grow, and to experience that wonderful countryside. And yet we are also only 25 minutes from central London on the train. So we have everything that the capital has to offer in terms of its culture, its theatre, its sport, its museums, and everything else. And of course, for the older children, they also like to take advantage of it for shopping as well. But we're also quite close to Watford, which is another a big town here in the UK. So we have something which is slightly smaller than going into London. But being in leafy green Hertfordshire, the children are very safe and secure as well. And we have that well and truly managed on the school campus in terms of our security and our pastoral care. All the boarding houses, which I'll talk about later, have magnetically locked doors. We track where the children are, and we look after them very, very carefully. We're also under 1 hour from 4 international airports. We're only 45 minutes from Heathrow, which is a fantastic location. In fact, if you're arriving at a different time, it's even faster than that. It's about half an hour, but we obviously have some traffic to contend with. We're also only about 40 minutes from Luton Airport as well. And we have City and Stansted, which are very close to us too. Aldenham is based on this model of education. We believe that for children to succeed, they have to be motivated. And this itself breeds this cycle of success, that the more successful they are, the more motivated they are. In order to achieve that, they have to feel a sense of belonging in the place in which they are. They have to have a purpose and feel that they know what they're driving for. They have to have a sense of autonomy, that they are a self rather than just one cog in a machine. They are themselves able to control things a little bit, make their own decisions. And they have to feel that they are competent in what they are achieving and what they're attempting to do. And we achieve that for the children and help them feel that sense of purpose, belonging, competence, and autonomy through 3 main areas. That's our academic work, our pastoral care, and our co-curricular program. And all of these interlock together as our whole model of the whole child at the center, which breeds that cycle of motivation and success. So fundamentally, you'll find that children at Aldenham are happy and contented. The Good Schools Guide often refers to the fact that the children here are the happiest they've met in many, many visits to many, many schools. We have a lot of experience with international students. We've been a boarding school since day one. We also do have day students, and being close to North London, we actually have a large multicultural mix of students. So it has a very international cosmopolitan feel, despite being very much a British boarding school with British education at its heart. But we do welcome students from all over the world, including Nigeria. We have also, in terms of the rest of West Africa, we also have some from Tanzania. We have a number of students from Ghana. We're very popular with Ghana as well. But I used to be a boarding housemaster. I'm now the commercial director across the foundation. But when I ran a boarding house, I did have children from Nigeria in my house. I always enjoyed working with them. I found that their focus, their academic hard work, and their willingness to integrate and get stuck into everything that Aldenham has to offer was always fantastic. So we have around 8% of the student body is made up with international boarders in terms of those that come over from other countries, but we have plenty of other international students that are not sponsored by us. They maybe come over because their parents work here and they're on their parents' visa, but they still come in and enjoy being a day pupil or a flexi boarder at Aldenham. And we have very strong support systems that help those children integrate wherever they come from. And we'll know when we're talking about pastoral care a bit later on. So fundamentally here, children need to feel at home. People who feel at home, feel settled, are then able to perform well, both in their co-curricular work, their sport, and also fundamentally their academic program. So as pastoral care, each child is part of a house, which is where they will live. And they have in there a dedicated housemaster or housemistress who will be fundamentally their parent when they are here. And that person will be looking carefully after your children, but will also be in contact with you regularly and with your child's guardian. And that relationship between school, parents, guardian is fundamental to make everything work for your children. They also have a personal tutor who they see every single day, regularly check in throughout the day, and obviously all their subject specialists will be working with them too. And all the children here feel that sense of belonging. So they are known. They're not just one cog in a large machine, as I said. They feel that they are known and therefore cared for and looked after. I know this is less of an issue in Nigeria, but we do have specialist English as an additional language teachers available for people that do need additional English support. And as part of our pastoral care, we use what's called the STEER system, which is an online checklist that the children complete regularly, and they complete it openly and honestly. And this helps us to pick up any kind of concerns over the child's mental health or well-being, even sometimes before the child even knows that they themselves are concerned. So we are proactive in our response to issues of homesickness or pressure or stress or anything like that. And we are a STEER champion school. We've been using it for a few years, and in 2024, we were recognized especially for our excellent using that program. Cultural integration, obviously, how do the children fit in? Well, we have regular cultural activities and we run a very diverse program. We have a buddy system that enables children to meet with the older children when they arrive, and someone who's been through that recently to help them settle in. And we make sure that they feel very, very at home. In our boarding houses, we have 4 senior houses, McGill's, Beavers, and Kennedy's for boys, Hall's House for girls. We also have 2 day houses, 1 boys, 1 girls, and we have a junior house for our 11 to 12 students, age 11 to 12, which is mixed, which is for boys and girls, although of course they're separated in terms of bedrooms and things. All our houses are very modern. They've had recent refits. They've got full of modern technology and very, very comfortable, although some of them actually were built even in 1887. Flexiboarding, as I said, is very popular here. So there are children during the week, 150 of them will board 2, 3, 4 nights a week, but it's slightly quieter at the weekend for the international boarders who are able to just settle and relax a little at home rather than it being quite so busy as you'll find in some boarding schools. But we do run a busy co-curricular program both during the week and at the weekends for the international boarders. And the international boarders will be taken, we have no exeats, by the way. There is no sport fixture when we have an exeat, but the children that are international boarders are not sent home or to guardians. They'll be able to travel with us to see something like Oxford or Cambridge. We've taken them up to Edinburgh for the weekend, to Belfast for the weekend, to York for the weekend. So they get an opportunity to experience some more of the UK. We're a very diverse community. As I've said, we've got children from Nigeria, also Germany, Spain, Ghana, China, Ukraine, and some other places too. We have this emphasis in the school on inclusion, on respect. We're a very, very tolerant and friendly school, and the people always comment on that. We do have regular talks on diversity and respect. We have a Christian foundation, so we have a chapel service every week. We have a full-time Church of England priest who is there as chaplain to the children, and he preaches every week a part on this sort of diversity and inclusion and making sure that everybody looks after each other. And I'm very proud to say that they do. I've been here 25 years. Liz has been here 20 years. We feel very at home here ourselves, and it's certainly a very welcoming community. We have a huge co-curricular provision. A wide range of activities take place every week. Everything from music, drama, art. There's always something that your children will find that they excel in, even if it's something they've never tried before they come here. Those opportunities lead to that sense of autonomy where they can steer their own direction, but also that sense of belonging. They find themselves at home, whether it's on the stage, whether it's performing music, or whether, as I said, it's in our sports provision. Aldenham is really, really well known for its sport. We are not a massive school. We've only got 670 students in the senior school, but we punch well above our weight. We are regularly winning, particularly in football, the ISFA and the ESFA competitions. At every level, we've been winning in those cups. And in the last 7 years, so that's one school cycle, starting age 11, leaving age 18, in the last 7 years, we have produced 11 professional footballers who now play in the Premiership for Premiership clubs and even internationally playing in things like the Champions League. Miles Lewis-Skelly, who left us last year, currently playing for Arsenal and playing in the first team and representing Arsenal in the Champions League. We have a very, very successful football programme. But it's not just football. We also have other sports, and your children will have the opportunity to play and excel and practice other sports, either at elite level or the just for fun. We run plenty of sporting tours all over the world, and sport is something that we are really, really well known for. The academics, though, we are a school. We take our academics very seriously. We are selective, but we're not elite selective. What I mean by that is that although the top third of our school would walk into highly, highly selective schools, we also have some people in the middle and some people who need a little bit more support. We feel that's more like real life and that you need to learn to mix with other people. And therefore, Aldenham is like a slice of real life. So if you're highly academic, you will go on to study at Oxford or Cambridge, or go and study medicine, or go into a STEM subject and study at UCL or LSE or King's or something like that. But if you want instead to go to a music conservatoire, or you want to go straight into the West End stage, or you want instead to go into professional sport and the academics is not specifically for you, then we cater for you as well, extremely well. So we have very good GCSE and A-level results, but we are not highly, highly selective in that way. We have very modern facilities. I've mentioned here that we're a Microsoft showcase school. We actually teach other schools how to use their IT platforms and how to use technology in education. So we're very advanced in that area. So why might you want to choose us? Well, apart from our fantastic location and ease of access and the fact that we have the capital on our doorstep, and yet you're still in those beautiful leafy fields that you can see there on that picture, we have both rich tradition and history combined with modern facilities. We do enjoy working with our international students. We feel that it actually helps Aldenham be who it is, and it always has done. We have this fantastic sports and co-curricular program, despite also taking our academic standards really, really carefully. And around 95% of our students will get their first choice university. 100% of our students will get offers at university, and many, many of them will take them up. Around 80% of our students actually go to Russell Group universities, or they have the right to go to Russell Group universities, even if they choose to go somewhere else. So I'm going to end with the testimonial. This is from Jason, who was actually placed with us by Brains and Butter. So Brains and Butter have worked with us for some time. They've placed a number of students here, but Jason was very keen to share his testimonial. He said, I know what Nigerian families want to hear, so you can be the judge of whether you agree with him or not. But he focuses on the sports, which is something he likes to do. Now, he is studying politics, economics, and geography at A-level, but he has told you here that sports at Aldenham are exceptional. I'm proud to represent the school on both the football and the basketball teams. training sessions are rigorously rewarding, and the emphasis on teamwork and discipline has not only improved my skills, but also built my confidence. And competing in matches and tournaments has been a thrilling experience, and the teams I have played in share a strong bond. So that's Jason. I'm sure we would love to work with you and your children too. So I thank you very much. If you have any questions or any comments, then please do email admissions@aldenham.com and Liz can work with you on that. And obviously we're happy now to take any questions live as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that presentation. Amazing. Okay, so we have a question already. Parents, please keep the questions coming. And if you would like to ask a question live, we would make that possible. Would really love to hear from you, actually. Would love to hear from you. So if you want to ask your questions live, please, by all means, do. Okay, so we have a question, and it says, how does the school foster a sense of belonging for students from diverse backgrounds?
Okay, so we foster a sense of belonging actually for every child. It's really, really important. So it's not just those that don't come from the UK. Everybody needs to feel a sense of belonging. And that's whether actually they're a day student or whether they are a boarding student. It's really, really important to us, that sense of belonging, which is why it's core in our model of education. We feel that children who feel they belong at school perform better. So rather than being a place they just go for lessons and then go home, it becomes a home from home, even for the day students. So it's absolutely vital for us. So what do? Well, our boarding houses and our day houses become the home that they have whilst they are at school. And this is where they have their closest network of friends, where they get known and get to know the members of staff really, really well. There are house activities, house events. And in that first term for us, we have a mega event, our house music competition, where every student in the entire school takes part in the house music competition. Now, this involves solo instruments, it involves ensembles playing, it involves a part song competition, and the biggest one of all is the house unison, where every member of every house competes as a choir against the other houses. And they start working on this the moment they arrive, and therefore they've come from all sorts of backgrounds, they don't necessarily know each other at that point, and yet they have this common goal that everybody works to, and they spend a huge amount of time working on this. And at the end of the October, so right before they break up for the first half-term holiday, in front of 1,500 people, everybody competes and performs. It's a huge sense of gelling and belonging that everybody wants to be part of. They feel a sense of pride in their house. They care for each other. The stress, the strain, the work, the achievement is so vital. It's the one thing that the students who've been here talk about sometimes 20, 30 years later, is the day they competed or won the house music. So that's the first thing. There's plenty of other things we do as well, whether it's with particular food, making people belong. When I was a housemaster, and this still happens now, when it's people's birthdays and they're away from home, and my wife would come through with a birthday cake and the whole house would sing happy birthday to them. And we're well aware of those pressure points and things that are happening. So we, for example, keep an eye on the news. If we see there might be disquiet or something happening overseas, we pick that up and talk to those children because they will have seen it. And they need to know that even though it's far away, we are aware of the pressures they may be facing. So we think very, very carefully about how we look after all our children. But anyone who has come from overseas has that extra level of special care because we know they're a long way from home, and that helps.
Amazing. Okay, so we have another question. It says, how does the school support kids that are already in a football academy in the UK?
That's a great question. One of the reasons that Aldenham is chosen by people who are already in a football academy is because we are hugely experienced in balancing the pressure that they have from the academy. The academies like us because we are able to release them from time to time to go for special training or special work if they've got a match or a fixture coming up. The academies also know that we like them to play for the school teams, but we get that balance right. So there are plenty of schools that really don't want people who play for academies because it damages their school teams, or it means that perhaps the focus on their academics, they think it might drop. For us, we don't. We know that children who are busy, who are keen, who are energetic and focused can manage with a bit of support both their academic work and their elite sports. So whether it's in a football academy, or whether they're performing for England or their own country in athletics or whatever it may be, we work very hard. So we have an elite sports people program where all teachers are aware of who these children are, the pressures they may be facing. We balance carefully the work that is set. We give them additional time to catch up, and they're supported in the boarding house to do so if they've had to take time out for training schedules. We manage that very, very carefully, which is why we have so many children in the school who are performing at an elite level, whether that be in music or on the West End stage or in sports academies. And certainly a number of professional football clubs put children here specifically because we manage that well. The director of sport was a professional footballer himself, and we have a number of other kind of close to pro footballers in the sports department. So they're well aware of those pressures, and we work very well together.
Amazing. Thank you so much.